to her sister last night. Such a farce that, anybody in Massachusetts or elsewhere whom my mom talks to these days, that, a person I am unable to communicate, with whom I'm unable to communicate, doesn't have a clue, is ignorant, is what have you, okay? So, that's reality. I didn't hear their conversation. I was in the living room watching Underdogs, a really cool, informative, bizarre, unreal National Geographic series. It's not for the faint of heart, okay? But it's fascinating, and Ryan Reynolds narrates it, and it's just cool because it's weird-ass animals doing what they do. And they've been captured doing it, and they're Ryan Reynolds narrates it. Oh. But when it went to like a lower commercial thing, I had it pretty loud. My mom was in the kitchen, late, making phone calls. And she puts the phone on speaker whenever she talks to anybody, so, I heard, like, enough. Just, she's talking to her sister. I'll sit here and pee myself before I even go out there to go to the bathroom or something, Because you never know, my mom might say something to me about whatever. She does that when she's talking to anybody, I almost pee myself all the time anyway. So, what's the difference? I haven't. But I've come close, because if you're woken up from a sound sleep to take someone to the bathroom and you always have to pee, and whenever you're woken up from a sound sleep, then you do the math, I'm sitting there helping her while I have to go. Speaking of pee, everything's peed. We have no washer and dryer. My mom has no concept of me doing everything, and everything cannot be done at once. It can't be done at once. Electrician just came yesterday. He checked out the connections of the washer and dryer to make sure that they were okay. They're actually up on this floor, but there was never any washer or dryer there when we did walkthroughs or did even looked at the house originally, so I had to make sure it was even working, since there was a whole bunch of other shit that, again, got money off the price of the house afterwards during negotiations to get the stuff fixed. Okay, that's how it works. I can't snap my fingers. I want to wash and dryer here right now. Can't do that, Mom. In the condition you're in, going to the laundromat's out of the question. Joe needs to wash our clothes. I'm lucky Joe and I are even still friends, Mom. It's on very shaky ground, all revolving around you, so. Wash your underwear the old-fashioned way, buy a tub. Already on it, Joe already beat you to it. I had it delivered from Walmart. It's not huge, but I don't have laundry soap, but I can actually use the special, high quality, not organic, but really he uses the kind of soap that I don't use. But when he's picking me up stuff, I don't question it. If he's buying one thing for another and then he picks up something else, you think I'm saying, I didn't want that? No, I keep it. Not when he did it when I was in the extended stay hotel that had a full kitchen and comes with soap. I'm like, would you buy that for me for? I don't want that. I'm going to use theirs. Plus we have a dishwasher. When I have to wash them by hand, I'm going to use their whatever. I'm not using my own for anything. Then later he remembers that. And I'm like, you were at Lowe's getting all kinds of other stuff. You picked up this, that, or whatever, even things I didn't ask you to get. You feel I need. Like, yesterday he brought me a fire extinguisher. I don't know how to use a fire extinguisher. It's easy, yeah, whatever. We had one in the old house. We never used it once, and then it was so old. I wouldn't dare use it. Anyhow, my mom's out of control. Nobody would be able to care for her, okay? I can care for her just fine when she's cooperative, like in the hotel when she goes to bed at 9, or at least by no later than 10, and most of the time 9:30, okay, or earlier. And I have to get up a couple of times in the night. Now in hotel sometimes I had to get up more, but at least she was cooperative. She's now out of control. She is endangering her life and harming me because I'm continuously waiting for tragedy to strike just like it did in Massachusetts eventually, okay? She's nearing 80. She cannot be staying up all night like a young fucking girl. She can't be going to bed at 11:30, 12:30, 1, okay? Last night it was 11:30. Get it up at 3:30 to pee, and then refuse to go back to bed. I am done. I slept. She went in the living room to fuck around with her stuff all night. I slept. I slept like 4:30 to. I slept a few hours. I slept 4. By the time I got, she got up at 3:30. She said she'd go back to bed, and then I refused to brush her hair. I'd have to go and get the brush, but it's not about that. It's about her wanting to throw her weight around, her not accepting reality, her thinking she gets to know this and that and have this and that. No, you get to know nothing, and you have what I give you. If I don't feel it's something good for you to have, such as a fucking curling iron, she's not having a curling iron. It's not good for hair, her type of hair. She's not having a curling iron, but she won't get me anything. She won't buy me anything I want without elaborating so people can understand. But they're not going to know unless they're in my life in the least bit, okay? Her sister's not going to know shit. The people she talks to in where we used to live, that park, aren't going to know shit. People from the nursing home aren't going to know shit because they're not in my life and I'm not going to tell them shit. So they're going to believe whatever lies she spews, whatever comes out of her mouth when she sounds like so sane. When Joe and I know the truth, she couldn't be further from friggin' sane, okay? Right now. She's out of control, delusional, and she's definitely would be viewed as legally. She's incompetent, okay? She's unable to grasp. You just fell from staying up all night and refusing to go back to bed. You just fell, but you were okay. Now you're going to do the same damn thing again. All I can wish is her sister, anybody who I'm not able to, with whom I'm not unable to share the truth. I wish they could be flies on the wall. They would be aghast. Her best friend who has mental problems, they would be aghast. I share stuff with the best friends. The person who takes care of her, her guardian or what have you, but not with the best friend. It would be 2 of them. I went for her. She wouldn't understand. The fact is, if they were flies on the wall, they'd be aghast. They'd be aghast. Oh my God. I cannot believe what Laura's mom is doing to Laura, how she's behaving, or how she's endangering her life. You think she's going to have a fucking curling iron? Do you know she never remembers she's in there and she's exhausted and we have hard floors, not that matters that much, but and she doesn't lock her wheelchair and she sits at the edge and reaches for things and fucks around with her shit all night long instead of going back to bed and then resuming, because she fucks around with her shit all day, fucks around with her shit, you know. She was good for a couple of days and I start to get, like, I let my guard down, you know. I let my guard down. But she's sleeping right now. Everything gets fucked up, and then because she's insane, where'd the day go? Where'd the day go? You stayed up from 3 to 9, And then you went back to bed from 9:30 till whatever. So you got your meds late, you got your breakfast late. Really, it's a breakfast lunch. You got everything late. What do you mean? Where'd the day go? I slept. I have to sleep. I have so much to do. I finally got trash arranged. I finally got the electrician here. Everything takes time. He was here an hour and a half. I felt guilty bathing. Joe called when I was getting ready to, you remember, I have to time it between her not needing to eat yet and going to the bathroom, and right in the middle I have to time bathing. It's not like I bathe every day. My God, I hadn't bathed in 9 days, okay? I hadn't bathed in 9 days. I planned it. And of course the phone rings, and I hadn't gotten in yet. And it's Joe. I'm going to try to be there by 1. Try to be there by 1 is not I'm coming in 5 minutes. I said, fuck it, this is my chance. My mom just went to the bathroom. She's in the living room fucking around with her stuff as usual. Not getting anywhere with it. Just endlessly fucking around with it. I'm bathing, I don't care. I left a voicemail on my phone, just in a panic. Like, this is my time. I have to plan it in between. My mom's going to need lunch. She's going to need a pee again. I had her pee twice. I'm bathing. I don't care. You're just going to have to wait, Joe. But I'm like this, bathing. And do you know when he ended up coming? I went as fast as possible. I was out in I went in at 33 and was out at 1:14. So give it 40 minutes. Okay. And Joe had fixed the drain the other night, so now that was wonderful. He gave me his handheld shower thing that is actually aqua something, that's a filter, water filter. It's perfect. He gave it to me. I wasn't going to wait a week to get a HDMI cable that was supposed to be included in the starter kit, the welcome kit, that wasn't at all. Okay, it wasn't for the original one, and I didn't know, and then for the second one, because there were 2, but Joe tried to hook up our old 15-year-old TV, and it won't work. The picture freezes, and we're thinking that maybe, and just decided I'm going to buy another TV. I don't care. It's all set up, and no matter what happens with my mother, I would like to have a TV in the bedroom in case I was ever sick or just whatever. You never know. The TV that came with this house could go. We don't know anything. We know he fucked things up with all these tons of electric, and they're all reverse polarity and not grounded and all that, whatever that means. I learned my lesson yesterday, and there's how many plugs in this house? A lot. They all individually have to be fixed because I want them fixed. Do they work? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You want them to be correct. Even if you ever plan on selling your house, you want them to be correct. You want it to be correct. I have the money to do it. We're doing it. The money was, But the TV probably is beautiful, probably new, probably will last. But I don't care. I would want a second TV in the bedroom anyway. Well, it's possible that old 15-year-old Samsung that's a plasma TV is not compatible with these days is what Joe thinks, the Comcast boxes, the gateways. It might not be compatible. So in that case, I'll buy another TV and I'll keep that TV because it works, and you don't get rid of something that works. You keep it in case something else goes. But first I'll talk to Comcast, see if there's any solution at all. There might be a solution to get the old TV to work with that. Joe's like, in Massachusetts, was that TV with the Wi-Fi, the second gate? No, it was the main TV in the living room with the main box. Or maybe it's as simple as switching out the boxes. Make the TV in the living room the Wi-Fi, and make our TV, that one, the gateway. I mean, the main one. I'm sure there's a solution. Even if Joe can't do it, Comcast can come here. I'll pay him another $100 like I did to get my internet in here. Speaking of which, I gotta ask them, because I am like that. I like to dig stuff in, or I like to know what's up. I got a thing. You're receiving a credit for $100. I got it as an email. Is it that difficult to say? Why do you even tell me that's not a credit? It's not a credit. You're taking $100 out. Why do you call it a credit? Why do you have to tell me anything? You made me think that I was getting a credit for some reason, which made no sense because I knew I had to pay the $100. Well, I would have paid 10 times more to have internet in my bedroom. You're kidding me. You pay anything, just about. To do it just like we had to do in Massachusetts. I started in Massachusetts when I moved in with my mom. I had my computer set up in the living room, and my mom would constantly come up behind me and scare the fucking shit out of me because I suffer from PTSD from years and years and years of abuse, both in high school from my father and then later for 11 years from my Donald. And even in different ways from his enabling mother. Needless to say, you can't creep up behind me. Even when I'm staying with Joe and I jump, he's like, why are you jumping? You know I live here. It's in my nature, Joe. Years and years and years of abuse. So I don't know what she said to her sister. Don't care. Anybody who doesn't know the truth via me is ignorant. It's that simple. Anyone who doesn't know the truth via me is ignorant. And I send people things in real time. But then I send it to someone I know keeps their phone off. But actually, I've even sent stuff to church woman, and she may have woken up. She has a family member in it. She might, you know, if you have a family member, she might, but she's never said, don't call me, unless she knows I only do it during what I perceive as for an emergency, because I need somebody like in the hotel I contacted just her, and it was, but then the thing within the hotel tapered off, and my mom wasn't that bad anymore. My mom's sleeping right now when she normally would be up for the day and eating breakfast. Yesterday I went back to bed with her from 8 to 10, but that was because I didn't sleep. I had stayed up and I had slept fitfully today. I went back to bed at like 4:10, and that was that. And I slept till whenever this text says. So the best thing is just to go backwards, and I need to write in my calendar too. I've been keeping calendars since I was 18. I have them all. Daily calendars, just like that one who made it into the, I forget his name, but the one who kept calendars, and he made it into he make it into the Supreme Court or something, whatever he made it into by the skin of his teeth, but he made it anyway, and he kept calendars. Sometimes I think I hear her, but she stayed up from 3 until 9:30 really. Went back to bed at 9:30. She should be sound asleep. She also peed twice. I gave her some water because she probably dehydrated while she was sitting on the toilet. It took a while to change everything. I didn't wake up till to tragedy. Even the other day, a few days ago, I didn't wake up to tragedy, but I did wake up to her falling, and then I had to call and have them pick her up. I have the dishwasher going. The fact is, if she goes back to bed and she wakes up and she tries to get in, remember, I learned my lesson in Massachusetts when I was lectured by the cop. I'll never, ever, ever not leave that right by her side. We learned, didn't we, that we can't do that. That was to keep her safe, and it backfired, and she decided to walk over to it. So we learned that lesson, and I will never, ever not leave it by her side again. But if she gets into it on her own when she's not supposed to, and she gets hurt, or she falls to the ground and I have to call the 911 to get her picked up, like last week when I had to, we took a couple hours trying to see if she couldn't even roll up, or she's so weak into my very low to the ground bed, so. I'm just going to go backwards and give you dates. Backwards, this tells the story. I can only send it to people in my life, so it doesn't get sent to the sister, doesn't get sent to anybody she knows from the nursing home, which was the one who gave her clothes, the daughter of the one in the nursing facility gave her clothes. Different people she knows from Massachusetts who I'm not on any kind of, I don't converse with them, I don't via even text, and so there you go. One I won't text anything to until before 10, but I can text it in real time to certain people, and then later text it to the ones I don't text right in real time. And this was for today. What's today? The 1st? Say the 1st of July, or is it? It just says today on my phone, I don't know. It's Wednesday. Or maybe, is it the 2nd? It's Friday the 4th. Say the 2nd of July. Bed at 11:30 p.m., up for day at 3:30, equals potential danger for her and eternal heartbreak for me. She refused to go back to bed, and I can't ever force her to do so. A kind male cop agreed with me last time she fell from doing the same thing she did at 3:30 this a.m. And I texted this today at 8:44. That was when I woke up. I went back to bed for a few hours. 4:10 to like 8:45. Then I went to the bathroom, and then I went into the living room and found her in there. And of course she tried to lie, but I could see that because I was able to move. She's there. She never doesn't lock the wheelchair, and she does dangerous things like going to the edge to reach down and bend over if she drops things and whatever. It's an accident waiting to happen. Remember, I didn't witness the last time when the last 2 times that she fell and she wasn't taken anywhere. She just got picked up. That's all. That was today. Today, I believe, is the 2nd. I thought it was the 1st, but I get confused too. But it's Wednesday, so I'm just going to go backwards. People in her life, but not in mine, such as name of sister or friends she made in nursing homes and still calls. Made in nursing home. She has that other one that I was pseudo friends with. That was a joke. She immediately tried to start telling me what to do when she got out, and that nipped that in the bud. She made in nursing what to do regarding my mom and my mom's meds and this, that, or what have you. Speaking of which, my mom is absolutely refusing to take that pee pill. I don't like my mom having to take any meds, but the reality is she needs to, and the reality is, with her doctor's knowledge, none of her blessing, of course, and she goes to New Hospital That doctor says, the doctor said I don't have to take the pee pill. That doctor doesn't know you from Adam. He doesn't care if you live or die, Mom. Of course he's going to say you don't have to do anything. The same as I say you don't have to. Nobody can shove it down your throat. We can't force you to do anything. But back in Massachusetts, it took 2 weeks for you to end up hospitalized. And the first thing they said to me as your invoked healthcare proxy was, we put her on a LASIK strip. Okay. When you refuse the pee pill, it took 2 weeks. Nothing wrong with my heart. You're delusional. You think nothing's wrong with you when you've been in and out of the ICU, not just in and out of the hospital, in nursing homes, in and out of the ICU over just the past several months, not even over the past year. People in her life, but not in mine, such as name of her sister or friend she made in nursing homes and still calls them remain ignorant. This is to the decades-long wrong friend who I used to not be able to text because she had me blocked because I was using my mom's old phone and she blocked my mom, as did other people in my mom's life because my mom would call 50 times a day. And I got that from the horse's mouth when she came to visit my mom back in Massachusetts. And she was telling me the same thing I said, in one ear out the other. You can't be calling people constantly. You have to wait for them to return your call. You're going to drive them crazy and they're going to block you and you won't even know they blocked you. You won't even know it. I know I'm not blocked now because when she took me to get my mom out and whatever, and she needed to reach me in the hotel and she needed to reach me ahead of time, and we figured out I was still blocked. I'm like, you can't do that. I can't have it be a third party through my mom. I don't even know if it's set up. I can't believe my mom. You have to unblock me. Jesus. I told you when you took me to get my hair cut a few months ago to unblock me that I was blocked and you forgot to do it. My kid has to do it for me. Yeah, have her do it. Have her do it. Have her do it. And still cause remain ignorant. You and a handful of others, people will know the truth. She was good for a couple of days, and I get lulled into a false sense of security. Right now, she's again endangering her own life while simultaneously harming me. Because when she willfully, insanely refuses to go back to bed in the middle of night, when she went to bed very late and is on just a few hours sleep, it kills me. She was up twice and in bed because she was up, went to bed at 11:30, up at 1:30, went back to bed at 1:30. I'm waiting for the day she won't even go back to bed at 1:30 because 3:30 is just, it's the same thing. It's ridiculous. But then up at 3:30 and up for the day because I refused to go and get a brush and brush her hair. I just wanted to go back to bed. We were in bed. We were almost getting into bed and she changed her fucking mind. I'm like, good. Go into the living room. Risk your life. I'm done with this shit. You won't, of course, have TV, radio, and of course not your phone. And then up doodling around, fiddling around with her shit until I woke up at 8:45. Very late, and it's on just a few hours sleep. It kills me. She was up twice and in bed for 4 measly hours total. In bed for 4 measly hours total. That's not sound asleep for 4 hours. She was about to get back into bed and then suddenly changed her mind because I refused to obey her and go get a brush to brush her hair in the middle of the night. It's about my refusal to obey her. About my refusal to obey her. She wants to throw her weight around. She thinks she's going to drive again. She thinks she's going to order Joe around. Joe needs to take me to get my license right now. Yeah, good luck with that. Joe needs to put my rebounder around. That would be negligent of Joe to do that. You can't walk. You're not using your goddamn rebounder. Joe's not going to put it together. She's in grave danger when she chooses to pull this shit. She's also refusing to take her pee pill. Back in Massachusetts several months ago, it took weeks of her refusing. It took 2 weeks of her refusing to take her life-saving LASIK for her to land in name of hospital there. They know her. They know her, and trust me, doctors are never going to say you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. A brand new ER doctor doesn't give a fuck about her. She throws her weight around. He says you don't have to. They're going to say anything. They don't care about you. They're going to say whatever.